Good morning. I'm Ed McNeil, Marketing and Communications Director for the City of Winston-Salem, and it's my pleasure to welcome each of you as we gather to celebrate the graduation of Basic Law Enforcement Training Class 68. Please rise as the recruits from the Winston-Salem Police Department's 68th Academy enters the room with the WSPD training staff. Please remain standing as the WSPD's Honor Guard presents our national colors and for the singing of the national anthem by Police Officer Florette Gregory Phillips. It is the protocol of the Winston-Salem Police Department that sworn enforcement officers salute if they are wearing hats, and non-sworn staff place their right hand over their heart at the order to present arms, and we would be honored if you would join us appropriately. Honor Guard, proceed.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we held at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave over the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Thank you. Please be seated. I'll now call forward Winston-Salem Police Chaplain Dr. Ronnie Lee Beatty for our invocation.
May we pray. Our Father, we thank you for these men and women who not only desire to make a livelihood for their families, but also to assure a more enduring quality of life for the people of this city. As they go forth from this place today, we ask that you give them the wisdom and ability to remember and to put in place that which they have learned and been taught. We also ask that when in the midst of danger, you will clothe them with divine protection. When challenged to do wrong, we ask that you give them the strength and ability to live up to the high standards of this department. We thank you for the understanding and commitment of their families who come here today to share in this great time of celebration. Bless all of our men and women who today stand between good and evil throughout our city. Bless the leadership of our city, and likewise give them discretion as they look toward the future. Bless each today who share in these moments, because we ask this in Jesus' name. Amen.
Thank you, Chaplain Beatty. On December 8, 2014, the 68th Winston-Salem Police Academy convened, and the men and women we will recognize today began a quest to become Winston-Salem police officers. The coming weeks were filled with challenges, difficulties, and great accomplishments, all culminating today with the 39 individuals seated before you. They have fulfilled that journey, and now they begin a new pursuit, one of public service and self-sacrifice. The city of Winston-Salem is guided by a council made up of 8 members and headed by Mayor Alan Joines. With 30 years of service, Alan retired as the deputy city manager in 2000. He was first elected mayor in 2001. He is now serving in his 4th term as mayor. Please welcome Mayor Alan Joines.
Thank you, Mr. McNeil. Good morning, everyone. To Mayor Pro Tem Burke, to Public Safety Chairman Taylor, our City Manager, Mr. Garrity, and Police Chief Roundtree, and other members of the dais, again, I say good morning to you. Let me also recognize 2 of my colleagues who are sitting in the audience, Councilmember Dan Bessie from the Southwest Ward and Councilmember Jeff McIntosh from the Northwest Ward. You know, as mentioned, I was elected mayor in 2001, so since that time, it's been my honor to have attended a number of these graduations. But I was thinking coming over here today, I never cease to become excited about being here and being a part of this graduation. And I never cease to be touched by the individuals who have stepped up and expressed their willingness to serve the citizens of Winston-Salem. You know, as mayor and the council, one of our prime responsibilities is to make sure that our citizens are afforded the best public safety services that can be had. And you'll see today as these individuals are recognized and receive their certificate today, that the city of Winston-Salem is going to be well served by this group. On behalf of our citizens, there are about 239,000 people who live in Winston-Salem now. I say thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for your service to our city and for your willingness to put your lives on the line so that our citizens could be safe. On to the families and friends who are here today, I congratulate you, too, for your support of these individuals, because I know they'll tell you quickly that without your support, they probably couldn't have gotten through all this. So on behalf of the city, I'll thank you as well. So again, congratulations to each one of you in Class 68. May God bless you.
Thank you, Mayor. Ms. Vivian H. Burke has served on our city council since 1977. She is the longest serving member in our council's history. She served as the chairman of Public Safety Committee for 36 years. She is now the committee's vice chairman. She is in her 20th year as our mayor pro tem. Please welcome council member of the Northeast Ward, Ms. Vivian H. Burke.
Good morning. It is always a pleasure to have the opportunity to stand before our men and women who wear the blue suits and drive the white cars. I've said through the years in a very clear way that this is one of the most important jobs that you can take. And I want you to know that we take it seriously. Our council people and the mayor just spoke about your duties and your responsibilities. Mayor, I know that you sent a letter to, and I've sent letters to Charleston, South Carolina. We know quite a few people there. And we know when one city hurts, all cities hurt. And just for a brief moment, I want you to close your eyes and say what you want to say in behalf of that city of Charleston, South Carolina. Close your eyes, please. Thank you. I know our city manager probably has been in contact with the Charleston city manager, making sure that if anything that this city can do, we will do it. All of us around this great country, the United States of America, we have taken this seriously. Even without, I want you to understand, my eyes, they always seem to be filled with water. It is because it's a sadness within our hearts. And I say to our Winston-Salem police, your job is tough. But because you have been trained well, and you have self-confidence in yourselves, and high self-esteem, and how to think before you act, and be bigger than the people you serve, this is what keeps our city moving forward. Make no mistake about it. We know that your job is tough. I read where there were about 60 million Americans with mental problems, and you face some of them right here in Winston-Salem, North Carolina. And I want to say to all of the families who are here, we pray every day, all day, that your sons and daughters will be safe as they do their jobs. And I want to say again, to all of you who are going to step into these positions, it's like I always feel when I'm out each and every day. I speak to my greatest friend, and whomever you believe in, that's your business. I believe in God, and I'm always speaking to God to give me that faith to take care of our city, to take care of our people who get out to make us safe. May God bless each and every one of you. And when you do come back to this great city of Winston-Salem, there are two events. We have the River Run and we have the Black Festival. We are known around the country and the world as the City of the Arts. Come back, join us anytime that you feel like it. God be with you. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilmember Burke. The city manager oversees the day-to-day operation and delivery of city services by more than 2,400 city employees. He often notes that as one team, not public safety, utilities, and planning, but as one team, we can always rise to whatever challenges us. Please welcome our city manager, Mr. Lee Garrity.
Good morning. Like Mayor Joynes said, this is always a special event for me as well. I love to see the camaraderie of all of our public safety employees, but more importantly, I love to see the families and the excitement, especially during the pinning ceremony. It's just it's a special time for law enforcement. Going through all of the hard studies, and as you all know, you do much more than the state minimum requirements. You work very hard, very long hours. And I know how tough the physical training is as well. And you're here today. You've made it. I pledge to you on behalf of city staff that we will do everything we can to provide the necessary equipment, the necessary tools, the training, everything we can to make sure that you can do your job, do it well, serve the citizens, and most importantly, go home each night. So I thank you for joining us, and I have my pledge, my commitment to help you as you move forward. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Garrity. Councilmember James Taylor Jr. is in his second term as council member of the Southeast Ward. A 2003 graduate of the Criminal Justice Program at North Carolina Central University in Durham, he serves as the chairman of our Public Safety Committee. Please welcome council member of the Southeast Ward, James Taylor Jr.
Good morning. I have the honor and privilege of bringing you greetings on behalf of the City Council, and I'm joined by my colleagues who have spoken and those who have not. I also greet you on behalf of the Public Safety Committee for the City of Winston-Salem. Before I move on, we're also joined by our men and women from the Fire Department led by Chief Mayo. Chief Mayo, if you'll raise your hand. We thank you and the Fire Department for being here as well, contributing to our public safety. This is the time that I get up and as a native son of this community, someone who's born and reared in this community, who gets to talk a little bit about our police officers. I believe from the chief down to the newest recruits that we have the brightest and best police department in the United States of America. But make no mistake about it, this is one of the toughest times to be in law enforcement in America's history. Every time we have a council meeting, when we convene, one of the first things that we do is we say a pledge. And this pledge is a pledge of allegiance to the United States of America and to the flag. One of my favorite parts of that pledge is one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. To our recruits, I charge you to remember that pledge. One nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. No matter what our positions are, whether you're an officer or whatever you do for a living, we all have a responsibility to fulfill that pledge. To all of our officers, I appreciate what you do for our community. To Recruit Class 68, thank you for your commitment and for your courage to serve and to protect this community. And they couldn't do it alone. So to all of the friends, the family, the spouses, and to everyone who is here, I say thank you. And if you would join me in giving Recruit Class 68 a thunderous round of applause. Thank you. Now at this time, I have the honor and privilege of introducing our speaker of the hour, Dr. Elwood Robinson. Dr. Elwood Robinson was elected Chancellor of Winston-Salem State University in September of 2014 by the Board of Governors of the 17-campus University of North Carolina, and assumed his duties on January the 1st, 2015. Prior to becoming Chancellor, he served as Provost and Vice President of Cambridge College. As Cambridge College's Chief Academic Officer, Robinson advised the President on matters of educational policy and the development of teaching and academic programs. A native of Ivanhoe, North Carolina, Robinson graduated from my alma mater, magna cum laude, from North Carolina Central University in 1978 with a degree in psychology, and then earned a master's degree in the field from Fisk University in Tennessee in 1980. After completing a pre-doctoral internship at Duke University Medical Center, performing rotations in neuropsychology, psychiatric inpatient and behavioral medicine, and health psychology, he earned a doctorate in clinical psychology from Pennsylvania State University in 1986. He later completed his clinical training as a research associate at Duke University Medical Center from 1990 to 1993. Robinson joined the faculty of North Carolina Central University in 1984. From 1993 to 1996, he served distinctly as chair of NCCU's psychology department. During his 3-year term, he instituted a new clinical master's program. He developed a faculty development program, increased external funding, and improved graduation rates by 25%. Concurrently, Robinson directed NCCU's Alcohol Research Center, funded by a grant from the National Institute of Alcohol Abuse and Alcoholism. a collaboration with predominantly minority and research-intensive institutions. The center provided support to faculty interested in alcohol-related research. In 2006, Robinson was named founding dean of the NCCU College of Behavioral and Social Sciences, where he oversaw 9 departments, 5 centers, and over 200 faculty and staff. Please join me in welcoming Chancellor Dr. Elwood Robinson.
Thank you, Councilman. Good morning. Mayor Joines, Mayor Pro Tem Dr. Vivian Burke, Chief Roundtree, the command staff of Winston-Salem Police Department, distinguished guests, family, and most important, members of the Winston-Salem Academy graduating class number 68. It is a privilege of grand proportions to be asked to be your commencement speaker today, and I thank you for this grand opportunity. While many of you have heard in the councilman's long remarks and introduction that I'm relatively new to Winston-Salem, but I know that Winston-Salem State University is proud to have 2 distinguished future alums, former Chief Patricia Norris and current Chief Barry Roundtree. They certainly have made significant contributions to the police department. And I also know that we have other members of the force who are WSSU graduates, and Captain Perry has informed me that, and I know this firsthand, that some of our professors have been involved in the training program and continues to be involved in that, so we are excited about that. I bring you greetings from Winston-Salem State University. I also bring you greetings from the University of North Carolina System of Higher Education, its Board of Governors and President Tom Ross. On behalf of our great university, Board of Trustees, faculty, staff, students, and administrators, I bring you greetings and thank you for this opportunity. I want to begin by saying congratulations to the new recruits. You have completed the transformation from citizen to law enforcement officer. You've passed all the hiring segments, survived the physical and mental training of the academy, and you sacrificed a lot in the last 20+ weeks. And you have successfully arrived at this moment. You worked hard through personal and family hardships, and now you're launching a new career. This is your day. This is your time. Do not tarnish what you have accomplished by losing sight of who you are when you put on that uniform. What you have chosen to do is a mission, a calling no less, as guardians of the public safety. Do not take this task because it is part of a noble and distinguished undertaking that you've chosen to embark upon. The Winston-Salem community is so blessed to have you standing in place as its newly minted members of the Winston-Salem Police Department. I challenge you to begin your career with a sense of pride and purpose and leadership. Now, you may be saying, as a new officer, what do you mean by leadership? Everyone gets involved in leadership. I believe that that's a core part of all of us who are called to serve. What we say at Winston-Salem State University is that we want to make sure that our graduates become leaders with a sense of social justice. And as a police officer, you're automatically a leader. You can have a positive or negative influence on everybody that you meet, but yet remember that you're always sworn to protect and to serve. In a world you're entering now, it is important more so than ever before to take control and have a sense of your attitude. That will make you a better police officer, and it make us all better people. I don't have to tell you, around the world things are changing, and no one has been affected more so by the ever-changing technology, camera phones, surveillance cameras. Everything now is out in the open. while we have never known for sure who was watching us. Our lives now are being turned over and broadcast on a daily basis almost around the world. And I don't have to tell you that the level of scrutiny that you are facing every day because of that changing world and that changing technology. Therefore, it is even more important that you let a good attitude and good work speak for you. If you don't, you not only damage your reputation, but also your ability to have a positive influence on the community will be compromised. You not only damage your reputation, but you damage the reputation of every officer when you don't do that. For example, all the things that have been happening and you've heard so far around the country, while you might not be directly involved in that, everything that happens across this country when police are involved begins to develop a perception and attitude about you. Is it fair? No. But that is simply the way of the world, and that's something that we all have to become accustomed to. I can tell you already, and being asked to come and to be your commencement speaker, I was so honored and so thrilled. And I got an opportunity to be briefed on this amazing class, and this very large class, totaling almost 40. And I've been impressed with that group, and I awakened at 4:30 this morning just to take a moment of reflection to think about where I was coming today. Because I had been briefed and I had been giving a copy of your photographs. And so as I sat at my desk this morning, I saw names like Alex and Megan and Ashley and Alan. And I saw names that I couldn't pronounce, so I didn't mention them. I saw men and women. I saw diversity. I saw a representative sample of our community. Captain Perry shared with me the things you have done, from the support of this community going in and feeding the needy in their community service, and he told me about something called a polar plunge. You've already set high expectations for this class of recruits, and now you must decide if you're going to live up to those high positive expectations. Leave you with a couple words from John Maxwell, who is a great pastor, leader, and religious and a leadership trainer, has written extensively on how to develop people and professionals. One of the things that he talks about is character, and how it is the foundation upon which you build success. But he points out that talent is a gift, but character is a choice. It is up to you to decide what kind of character you want to have and how you want to present yourself. The legendary coach John Wooden said it best: be more concerned with your character than your reputation, because your character is what you really are, while your reputation is merely what others think of you. Your call to service must always include doing the right thing. Bobby Kennedy in 1966, in a speech to students in South Africa during the heat of apartheid, and he said it best, and I believe that it applies to all of us today. As he said, we must recognize the full equality of all people before God, before the law, and in the council of government. We must do this not because it is economically advantageous, although it is. We must do this not because of the laws of God commanded it, although they do. Not because people in other lands wish it so. We must do it for the single and fundamental reason that it is the right thing to do. You need to bring, I hope, every day to your job a sense of being a positive influence in everyone that you touch every day. We need for you to be a professional. That is what I want for each one of you. I want you to be the best professional you can be. I want you to have a great reputation with the police department and with the citizens of Winston-Salem. I want you to know the self-satisfaction that comes from doing a good job and from making a difference. I want you to feel the sense of pride and accomplishments when you get someone and help someone along the way, and then 10 or 15 years later, they come up to you and they say, thank you for having a positive influence on me, and thank you for having a positive influence on my community. You are sworn to protect and serve the people of this city. We depend on you to do that. We need you to depend on yourself in a manner that creates the best reputation for you and your fellow officers. We are all counting on you. Take time to remember your family. They were here before you attended the academy. They were by your side as you trained here, and they will be with you long after you no longer have active membership in this great fraternity. This is an awesome and great profession. But remember, while you're out there on the streets, that your family is home worrying and concerned about you. Relax their worries and assure them of your professionalism by the proper actions that you take. Do this and never let this job consume you. Find time for them and find time for your family and your friends. Serve your community with all the pride that you can muster, and recognize that so many facets of your commitment to law enforcement in this profession calls for you to be at the same time those wonderful sons and daughters and family members and friends and neighbors that within the community that you serve. Abide by the golden rule to always treat those you are called to assist as you would wish to be treated. And just as well, treat the subjects of your calls as you would want your family to be treated, and offer them the same protection you would tender your own flesh and blood. Always remember to do what right looks like. And never forget that evil can sometimes be perpetuated simply by looking the other way and doing nothing. So I congratulate you on what you have accomplished thus far, and for all the effort you have already put into having a positive influence on this community. We are expecting great things from you. I ask you and I charge you, as I've charged students for over 30 years, and I ask you to take the learning of your mind to that place where the passions of your heart meet the work of your hands, for that is the place that you will make a difference. Thank you so much.
Dr. Robinson, on behalf of Class 68 and the Winston-Salem Police Department, give you this plaque. We thank you for speaking today.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Dr. Robinson. Now, please allow me to take a moment to introduce the full-time training staff. These dedicated individuals are committed to the success of the organization through the development and education of its personnel. The staff works tirelessly on numerous projects and programs while providing unwavering support to the recruits and veteran officers. On many days, training staff arrive before dawn and begin physical training, and they often work late into the evening. They are truly a team of professionals who devote all of their efforts into molding these individuals into a team and part of Winston-Salem's finest. Assistant Chief Scott Bricker, Captain David Perry, Lieutenant Danny Watts, Sergeant Scott Wright, Sergeant Wynn Matthews, Corporal Samuel Langdon, Corporal John Collins, Corporal Mark Slater, Corporal Brian Ashley, Corporal Mark Bollinger, and Senior Office Assistant Ms. Jean Johnson. Please join me in giving these individuals a well-deserved round of applause. If you're a member of the recruiting division, please stand. Not everyone who wants to become a police officer is accepted into the academy. The men and women you see standing are members of the team who reviewed more than 1,000 applications to seat the group that included Class 68. The recruiting staff for BLET Class 68 included the following: Lieutenant Katie Patterson, Corporal Renique Reedus, Officer Thomas Day, Officer Jimmy Falk, Officer Christina Martin, retirees Pat Miller, Paul O'Neill, Al Vance, Vince Stevens, Steve Harrison, Senior Office Assistant Ms. Jean Johnson. Please join me in giving these individuals a well-deserved round of applause. I'll ask now that all Academy instructors and field training officers please rise. There are 100 state-certified instructors in the department and Forsyth Tech who contributed to the training of our cadets. These are but a small sampling of the instructor pool that provided more than 1,000 hours of instruction. Their dedication and hard work is a testament to their professionalism. Among these standing are representatives of the Post-Academy Training Program. They are field training officers. The WSPD's Post-Academy Training Program involves the assignment of an entry-level officer to a field training officer, an FTO, who serves as a guide and a model for the inexperienced officer. The FTO undertakes a dual role, patrol officer and trainer. As a trainer, the FTO must build upon the primary education that the entry-level officer has received. The FTO is the primary force that molds the new officer into a professional, productive member of the WSPD. Please join me in thanking the Academy instructors and our field training officers. Now, as is customary at Academy graduation, one recruit will deliver the graduation speech on behalf of the class. The recruits of Class 68 voted to have that speech delivered by recruit Jesse Wilson.
Good morning. Good morning, Mayor Joines, Mayor Pro Tem Burke, City Council, command staff, training staff, and friends and family of Class 68. It is an honor to be standing before you today. It is because each and every one of you, that the 39 of us are where we are today, in these uniforms, beginning our careers as law enforcement officers. It has been a long road from December 8th, and now, here we are, graduates of the Winston-Salem Police Academy. We worked hard to get this far, but so did each person in this room. Our command staff and our training staff poured countless hours into our lives to prepare us for this career. Our friends and family members helped push us through each challenge and obstacle. On behalf of Class 68, I want to thank each and every person in this room for believing in us, supporting us, and for helping us accomplish this great feat in graduating from BLET. We would not be where we are today without you. As everyone in this room knows, it's a very difficult time to be in the career of law enforcement. The political climate surrounding our line of work is incredibly tense, and now more than ever, all eyes are on us. We have an incredible opportunity before us as a new class of graduating officers. We have an opportunity to shape the public perception of law enforcement. We must work to improve the public's perception of law enforcement. It's our responsibility to uphold the badge. We've worked long and hard to earn it, and the worst thing we could do now is to put this badge on our uniforms and tarnish everything it stands for. It's not a responsibility to be taken lightly. We no longer simply stand for ourselves. We stand for each officer in our department and officers nationwide. We have seen what one officer's mistakes can do to all of law enforcement. Now it's our turn to make a difference. We will be honorable, responsible, upright, moral, and strong. The standards are high, but we have a responsibility to uphold them. Take this seriously, Class 68. The motto many think of when thinking of law enforcement is to protect and serve. This is precisely what we have dedicated our lives to doing. Our job is to protect and serve each and every citizen of Winston-Salem, no matter their beliefs, backgrounds, experiences, or opinions. We protect and serve those who respect us and those who do not. On good days and bad days, we protect and we serve. When it feels like everyone is against us, we protect and serve. As Psalm 82, verses 3 and 4 says, "Give justice to the weak and the fatherless. Maintain the right of the afflicted and the destitute. Rescue the weak and the needy. Deliver them from the hand of the wicked." This is who we are called to be. This is who we are now. To our friends and family, You are critical to our success. We can't do this job without you. We're going to have hard days, and no matter what, we need to know that you have our backs. Your support means the world to us. I know this job is difficult, not just on us, but on each of you as well. Please be patient with us. Know that no matter what, our first priority is always going to be coming home to you. Now, I challenge each one of us to take everything that we have learned and accomplished over the past 7 months and not let these things go to waste. The challenges are not over now. In fact, they are just beginning. Remember what we've been told from the beginning of this class. Be confident, not cocky. Don't tarnish the badge. Don't settle for mediocre. Always strive for more. We have been given the tools that we need to succeed as we hit the streets and get to work. Now is the time to use them. Thank you.
Thank you, Recruit Wilson. Traditionally, the Winston-Salem Police Department presents special awards during graduation to members of each class who have distinguished themselves during academy training. Today, we honor 3 members of Class 68 with the following awards: the Vivian H. Burke Character Award, the Honor Graduate Award, and our highest award, the Lieutenant Aaron G. Tice Jr. Colleague Award. We'll begin with the Vivian H. Burke Character Award. Please welcome City Manager Lee Garrity for presentation.
As Chancellor Robertson said a while ago in his speech, character is critical. Character is the thing that defines all of us. And today I have the distinct honor of presenting the Vivian H. Burke Character Award. You know, the dictionary defines character as those attributes and ethical traits that distinguish a person. In essence, character is revealed by what a person does, even when, or especially when, no one is looking. The Vivian H. Burke Character Award is named for Councilmember and Mayor Pro Tem Vivian H. Burke, who served as chair of the Public Safety Committee for 36 years. This award is given to the recruit in each police and fire recruit training class who best exhibits the qualities of integrity, ethical behavior, team-building ability that demonstrate that strength of character. Today, I am pleased to give this award to Recruit Marquise Parker.
Thank you, Mr. Garrity, and congratulations, Recruit Parker. The Honor Graduate Award to be presented by Assistant Chief Connie Southern and Beth Hutchins, the widow of Sergeant Mickey Hutchins, who was killed in the line of duty on October 12, 2009.
Good morning. Class 68, congratulations once again, job well done. Entrance level training for BLET Class 68 police trainees consisted of 1,000 plus hours of law enforcement training in 36 different subjects that require a written exam and in some subjects a practical application exam. The Honor Graduate Award is presented each year to that trainee who has the highest academic grade average overall. The honor graduate for BLET Class 68 completed the training with a 97.89 grade point average. The The Honor Graduate Award for Class 68 goes to recruit Skylar T. Johnson. Now I'd like to introduce Miss Beth Hutchins.
Our family has always taken a lot of pride in academic work. It's very, very hard to have a normal life while you're taking that 1,000 hours of classroom credit and trying to maintain a family life at the same time. We think it deserves a little bit more than a plaque. My husband was the winner of this award in class 15. So our family, on behalf of our family, we would like to present you with this eagle, and we hope that you soar in your career.
Thank you, Assistant Chief Southern and Ms. Hutchins, and congratulations, Recruit Johnson. Now for the highest award an Academy member can receive. This award is one in which each officer present today is familiar with and cherishes as a symbol and a reminder of the great price that members of this profession might be asked to pay for the privilege of serving in law enforcement. Police Chief Barry Roundtree will now present the Lieutenant Aaron G. Tice Jr. Colleague Award.
Good morning. Good morning. I also have with me Mrs. Tice. Tanya Tice. Today also marks the 23rd anniversary of the death of Lieutenant Aaron Tice. As you look around the room, you see all the in-service officers wearing the black bands. Let's take a moment of silence as we remember Lieutenant Aaron G. Tice. Thank you. If you were to take a survey asking a community to identify those qualities it desires in its police officers, the list would include words like honest, hardworking, competent, and professional, just to name a few. If you also survey a police department asking officers to identify those qualities they desire in a coworker, you'd also hear words like courageous, strong, trustworthy, and dependable. A few weeks before each recruit graduation, all members of the class are asked to vote for one of their peers who they believe best demonstrates those qualities that we all recognize within the best men and women of our profession has to offer. Class 68 has chosen that representative from within their ranks, and the Lieutenant Aaron Jerome Tice Jr. Colleague Award for BLET Class 68 is presented to Recruit Stuart M. Sturkey. I also have a special presentation and commendation for Class 68, and I'm going to ask Sergeant Wright to stand and come forward. Like many classes before them, BLET Class 68 accepted and met the challenges of completing over 1,000 hours of instruction and training. The common experience brought them together, but unlike any other class we've seen before, they also bonded with our community. I want to read a commendation that's being presented to them on some of the things that they did. Winston-Salem Police Department Unit Commendation. Be it known that members of Class 68 did participate in several community service events, which embodied the spirit of the community involvement and the importance of building a positive and trusting relationship between the police and the citizens they serve. Under the leadership of Sergeant L. Scott Wright, Class 68 participated in the following events. They presented a class flag and logos to Gunnar Zekerfoos in Texas. He was a young man who's dealing with a rare form of cancer. Also, they paid for and volunteered for the 2015 Polar Plunge. And if you don't know what that is, that's when you jump into a swimming pool in February. They donated time to Habitat for Humanity, building houses. They also participated in the Big Serve, feeding the homeless on April 11, 2015. Also, they ran in the Law Enforcement Memorial Run in Greensboro of May of 2015. So therefore, Chief of Police for the City of Winston-Salem, I do present the unit commendation to Sergeant Wright and Class 68. Congratulations to you. So now, before we present the badges, I do again want to thank all our elected officials for being here today, specifically the mayor, Mayor Pro Tem Burke, Councilmember Taylor. Also have here in the room today two other council members, Councilmember Bessie and Councilmember McIntosh. Also, again, thank you to our other law enforcement officials for being here, and also the fire department. This is a great day for the City of Winston-Salem and the Winston-Salem Police Department. We have 39 new employees to add to our ranks and also our family. So again, I want to thank the training staff and all the instructors for all your hard work and seeing this class through. To Class 68, we met for a long time on yesterday. We had probably an hour and a half conversation, so I just have a few parting words before you pin your badges on. Your BLET training is complete, but your learning is just beginning. You are embarking on a very noble profession, but don't look for and don't expect a lot of fame, praise, or thank yous. Your career is going to be a little bit different from when I started in law enforcement and for many of the in-service officers that you see here today. As we reflect back on the national events involving law enforcement over the past year, we should all recognize that policing has been thrust into the spotlight in a way that has caused a re-examination of nearly every aspect of how we police. Our mission has not changed, but our methods of policing are changing. With technology, additional oversight, just to name a few, those are some of the things that you'll have to deal with in starting your career. So as you start your career, I can't promise that you'll have a career without controversy or adversity. I also can't promise that you won't be injured or even killed during your career. I can't promise that people will respect you, your position, and everything that you tell them to do while you're performing your duties. I also can't promise that every decision that you make will be popular and will not be questioned. But I can promise you that if you do the right thing, you can't go wrong and you'll make the agency proud. I can also promise you that change in law enforcement is inevitable. I can also promise you that being a police officer, you're going to lose some of your friends or some of your so-called friends. I can also promise you that being a police officer, there's a lot of sacrifices. You're going to sacrifice family events. picnics, holidays, birthdays. Today's policing is not all about driving fast and chasing people. Today's policing is about community engagement, some of the things that you're already involved in, partnerships and community service. I'm not saying don't do your jobs. Like I told you yesterday, you're well equipped, so go out and do your jobs. But our primary role is to provide police services and protect the life of property and our citizens in Winston-Salem. So I tell every class to think back. You know, when you leave this room, these lights, this ceremony, and you report to your work assignments next week, take time to reflect back on why you said you wanted this job. Take time to reflect back on the things that you put down on that very, very long application that you completed on why you wanted to be a police officer. I'm sure you said things like you wanted to help people. You wanted to make a difference. So it's okay once you get released from training to judge your good days by how many arrests you make, how many citations you write, but measure your best days on how your influence, how your decisions influence the lives of people. Of course, in this profession, your decisions can determine your destiny. And as a police officer, your decisions can have lifelong repercussions. So my challenge to you, rely on your training, don't compromise your honor, and also remember why you said you wanted to be a police officer. So good luck to you. I hope you have a long, fruitful career. Sergeant Wright.
Yes, sir.
Do you personally certify that all the recruits have successfully met all the state and departmental standards and are eligible to receive their badges?
Yes, sir.
Present the recruits for their badges.
Row one, on your feet.
Left, face, forward, march.
Ladies and gentlemen, it is tradition in Academy graduation that as I call the name of each recruit, they shall come forward and receive their certificate and be congratulated by the dignitaries on stage. Additionally, as part of the ceremony, each member of Class 68 has selected someone to share in the honor of pinning the badge onto them for the first time. This badge of honor serves as a symbol of public faith, and it is accepted as a public trust, and it obligates those who wear it to extremely high standards of personal and professional conduct, well beyond the expectation of the citizens you serve. Class 68, you are fully aware that not everyone can earn this badge. Be proud of your accomplishments, and as you have heard, never tarnish the image of the badge you are about to receive. I'd like for those friends and family members who've been selected to pin the badge onto their loved one for the first time to move over to the right side of the room and wait near the black curtain there. In keeping with the dignity of the ceremony, I ask that you hold your applause until after all graduates have recited the oath of office. Okay. Everybody's ready. Okay. Giovanni Amaya. Hold tight. Sorry. Hold tight. I think she filled out her card. Alex R. Baldwin. Christopher M. Bowers. Elijah A. T. Cox. Muhammadu L. Dime. Adam E. Dunn. Christopher J. Fall. Stephen M. Gillis. Alan B. Hicks. Ryan S. Hunter. Nathaniel E. Jacobson. Megan L. James. Skylar T. Johnson. Jacob A. Judd. Andreas E. Maldonado. Sabino P. Martinez. Yazbik Medina. Jordan R. Miller. Matthew P. Niblock. Ashley N. Norman. Emily D. Oliver. Marquise A. Parker. Kenneth J. Ramsey. Matthew B. Ring. Gonzalo J. Rosales. Moses A. Ruiz. Sean T. Simon. David L. Sparks. Stuart M. Sturkey. Timothy K. Taylor. Joshua O. Terry. Nielsen A. Tesh. Jacob M. Tuttle. Joshua A. F. Waddell. David O. Wagner. Jonathan G. Wells. Eric M. Wendell. James A. White. Jesse L. Wilson. I'll now call forward our Clerk of Superior Court, Ms. Susan Fry, to administer the oath of office.
Thank you. I'd ask for each one of you to stand and place your left hand on the Bible. If you wish to affirm, please just raise your right hand. Do each of you solemnly swear or affirm that you will be alert and vigilant to enforce the laws of the state, and that you will be not influenced in any manner or account of personal bias or prejudice, and that you will support and maintain the Constitution and the laws of the United States and the Constitution and laws of North Carolina, not inconsistent therewith, and that you will faithfully and impartially discharge and execute the duties of your office as a law enforcement officer according to the best of your skills, abilities, and judgments. So help you God. Say, I do.
I do.
Thank you.
Class 68, you are officially members of an elite group of highly trained police officers, and you're held by both the public and government to the highest standards of conduct. Those standards, known as the Law Enforcement Code of Ethics, are printed on the 8th page of today's program. I invite the audience to follow along as these new police officers join all sworn law enforcement personnel here today in reciting this code. We'll be led by Assistant Chief W.S. Weaver.
Good morning, and it's my honor to be able to lead us in reciting the North Carolina Criminal Justice Education and Training Standards Commission Law Enforcement Code of Ethics. As a law enforcement officer, my fundamental duty is to serve mankind, to safeguard lives and property, to protect the innocent against deception, the weak against oppression or intimidation, and the peaceful against violence or disorder, and to respect the constitutional rights of all men to liberty, equality, and justice. I will keep my private life unsullied as an example to all, maintain courageous calm in the face of danger, scorn, or ridicule, develop self-restraint, and be constantly mindful of the welfare of others, honest in thought and deed in both my personal and official life. I will be exemplary in obeying the laws of the land and the regulations of my department. Whatever I see or hear of a confidential nature or that is confided to me in my official capacity will be kept ever secret unless revelation is necessary in the performance of my duty. I will never act officiously or permit personal feelings, prejudices, animosities, or friendships to influence my decisions, with no compromise for crime and with relentless prosecution of criminals. I will enforce the law courteously and appropriately, without fear or favor, malice or ill will, never employing unnecessary force or violence, and never accepting gratuities. I recognize the badge of my office as a symbol of faith, and I accept it as a public trust to be held so long as I am true to the ethics of the police service. I will constantly strive to achieve these objectives and ideals, dedicating myself before God and my chosen profession, law enforcement. Class 68, congratulations. Welcome to Field Services Bureau, Patrol Division. Let's roll, Code 1.
Ladies and gentlemen, we ask that you please remain seated while the guests on stage, the new graduates and veteran officers from the Winston-Salem Police Department exit the room. We thank you for joining us today. The recruits and staff will join up in the reception area to offer congratulations. The class will form up briefly for a group portrait here in the Garden Terrace, and photographers will be available for the next 30 minutes. Now, before I call Sergeant Wright, as I told you from the beginning, I'm Director of Marketing and Communications. Every week we sit down and look at the jobs that are coming through city government. We serve the police department as our top customer. More jobs come through for your department than anybody. And so with that, I will tell you, I drive a 2007 Tundra Crew Max. It is blue. It looks fast. It's not. It is not. Sergeant Wright, please dismiss your class.
Class 68, dismissed.